This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for Friday the 6th of July 2018. Here's what we're tracking. The ExxonMobil company today expressed strong objections to claims by at least one opposition member of parliament that the U.S. oil company was funding a political initiative of the government. During the company's appearance before the Parliamentary Sectoral Natural Resources Committee, PPP MP Pauline Sukai accused the company of funding and supporting the government's Green State Development Strategy. Drawing attention to the new collaboration between the ExxonMobil Foundation and Conservation International, Sukai reasoned that while government is yet to include its Green State Development Strategy in a policy document and submit it to the Assembly for discussion, Exxon is now supporting the initiative. But without allowing the MP to proceed with her line of questioning, Exxon Country Manager Rod Henson interrupted the opposition MP to point out that her claims were absolutely false.
ExxonMobil is not involved with politics in Guyana. We don't choose sides. We're apolitical. We're not funding any political party, any political side, any political initiatives. None. Just full stop.
Actually, you may want to stop me, but we have to stop the concern in the public domain because that is what is circulating, and that's why I chose to raise it here so that you can have a chance to clarify.
Well, I can't control every individual's thoughts and opinions, but I appreciate your opportunity to allow me to say that's complete hogwash.
The country manager was stern that its collaboration with Conservation International, which also includes the University of Guyana, was in no way an expression of support of any political initiative. In a statement published on Exxon website, the company explained that the investment by its foundation through Conservation International is also intended to support Guyana's Green State Development Plan, the country's 15-year development plan that aims, among other things, to diversify Guyana's economy and balance economic growth with the sustainable management and conservation of the country's ecosystems. And still with Exxon and that hearing today, local content in the emerging oil and gas industry took center stage during a parliamentary engagement with U.S. oil giant ExxonMobil and the Parliamentary Sectoral Committee on Natural Resources. Grilled on its commitment to local content, Exxon's country manager Rod Henson told the committee that he believes there were misalignment of expectations for local content in Guyana and insisted that the company's level of investment locally was quite good.
Those numbers for Guyanese workers are about 50% right now, which is something I'm very, very happy and proud of. After 30 years in the oil field, I've lived in 5 different places through my career and visited and worked in many others. This is very, very good progress, stellar progress for where we are today, which is early. It's not where we want to be. It's not where we're going to get to. But for the first year or two of a project, I'm very proud of those numbers.
Exxon has been asked to submit a more comprehensive list with all of the companies it is doing business with to allow for greater analysis on primary and subcontractors. Country Manager Rod Henson, after much hesitation and repeated questioning, agreed to submit a more comprehensive list to allow the committee to do its own analysis. Laws which impose a judicial sentence for the possession of small quantities of marijuana could soon be struck down, President David Granger has announced. The president made this announcement on Thursday on the sidelines of the 39th meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community in Montego Bay, Jamaica. According to the president, cabinet is looking at the matter and it is likely that jail time will be removed for cases involving small amounts of marijuana.
We are moving towards removal of custodial sentences for the possession of small amounts of marijuana. We are not moving towards encouraging the industrialization of marijuana production. I think that is a little premature in terms of Guyana's in the context of Guyana. We have vast landscape in comparison with some of the Caribbean island states. We have challenges for enforcement and challenges for control of that land space, and it would be very difficult for Guyana to embark on that push at the present time. So we are moving towards removal of the custodial sentences. We're not moving towards the encouragement of the use of marijuana.
The president's announcement comes at a time when the CARICOM Regional Commission of Marijuana has recommended the decriminalization of marijuana across member states. The report is one of the scheduled items to be discussed at the CARICOM meeting. In its report, the CARICOM Commission argued that a strictly regulated framework for marijuana should be introduced. The Ghana Elections Commission GCOM has announced that Sunday, July 8 is the final day for persons to register and make claims and objections as local government elections are set to take place this year. The elections regulatory body is urging all Guyanese who are still to register or make claims or objections to do so before this Sunday. According to GCOM, the registration exercise commenced on May 21 in an effort to ensure that all eligible persons are afforded unlimited opportunities to be included on the National Register of Registrants database. It was also done early to ensure that GCOM is in a state of preparedness which would enable it to respond to calls for election in a timely manner. With regard to registration, any individual who will be 14 years and over by the 31st of October 2018 is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more is eligible to be registered. And finally tonight, after seeking to declare his innocence in a robbery that he claimed he was forced to be the driver for two bandits, a West Coast taxi driver was today remanded to prison over the same robbery. The accused, Harry James, appeared before Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan and tried his best to secure bail, which was denied, and he was told to return to court on the 20th of July. James, who was unrepresented, was not required to enter a plea to the indictable charge. The court was told that on the 26th of June at Canal Number 2, while being in the company of others and armed with a gun, he allegedly robbed Rabinja Sukdat of $792,000 in cash along with other items. In court today, the accused told the court that he was hired by one of the bandits and did not realize that the men were part of a robbery until he saw them running back to his car and ordering him to drive. The taxi driver has asked the court to obtain CCTV recording from the area, which he believes would prove his innocence. The two men who actually carried out the robbery escaped from the taxi and have not been seen since. Bail was denied and the accused was encouraged to hire a lawyer. And that's your evening news source bulletin for today. I'm Kurt Campbell reporting.